they're watching the screen, they're having a good time, little hearts are floating over their head. Again, for some reason, I just had a particular interest in these two items. I can't imagine why, and maybe it's because whoever designed them might be super cool and neat. They might have psychic powers and laser vision. They might, you don't know. Speaking of which, we also have an incentive coming up that is very, very important. This is the Dullahan fight in Golden Sun: The Lost Age. Now, we need $50,000 total. We're currently sitting on $4,306. Sorry, let's start that over again. $4,316 out of that $50,000. Dullahan is a super boss. I'm sure most of you know what that term means, but if you don't play a lot of RPGs, a super boss is a boss that is usually just hanging out randomly in a world that happens to be several times more powerful than the final boss of whatever game you're playing. Dullahan has a wide variety of abilities that make this a very, very long, dangerous fight. Including stuff like Jin Storm, which is basically the I win button. It can make things very, very bad for you. You can there's a movie called True Collide, which sucks out energy orbs. Orbs. Hey, that's scary, right? It's taking your orbs. There's also Element Swap, which doesn't do anything, but it's it means he's about to do stuff that's bad, so that's always good. It has like a billion, zillion, trillion attacks. So I want to see the Dullahan fight. Let's make it happen. Let's do it. And so if you want to donate, like traditionally in mythology, a Dullahan is a headless creature. So if you had a magically detachable head, send in a donation to tell me what you would do with it. It's not violent in any way. There's nothing bad. It's magically detachable. You can think and do whatever you want. You can put your head back on and it will be fine. Send in your donations as to what you would do with your magically detachable head, and we'll see if I can read. Excuse me. See if I can read them between the runs. All right, I am being told that we are ready. So if you out there in the crowd like orbs, then oh boy, you are in for a treat. This is Kororinpa Marble Mania with Callumbal. Take it away.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? I'm Callum, and this is Kororinpa, a Nintendo Wii game. And I am going to introduce my co-commentator now, Yoda Gage.
Hello. All right.
Do you want to say anything else than that? Are you just going to say hello?
I guess I'm the current record holder, and Callum's not far behind.
Alrighty. And, with that, I'm ready to go. If the tech's ready on time, I'm going to count down. So, let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. So like I just said, this is Kororinpa, a Nintendo Wii game, and it uses gyroscopic motion controls. So I know a lot of people, when they think about Nintendo Wii games, they think about sort of awkwardly pointing the cursor at the screen, trying to line it up with the sensor bar as the main form of control. But this game uses the integrated gyroscope in the Wiimote, so it's highly accurate, a lot more accurate than using the sensor bar. And it allows us to do things like this, flip whatever direction we wish in the game. And it allows for a huge range of motion. So on this level, for example, also I'm going to show you how I can jump too. So I flick the Wiimote to jump as well, and you have to be level when you're going to do a jump in this game, and then you flick, otherwise it doesn't go through.
Yeah, I'll go into a bit more depth on that. So basically, in a normal, like different marble games, I'll just pick an example. Like for instance, like Monkey Ball Banana Blitz, you have a jump button along with the motion controls. In this game, there's no jump button. All the jumps that you see are being done with a manual flick of the wrist in the direction that you want to go, at the specific distance you want to go. So it just requires a ton of amount of control over the marble.
Yeah, so this stage is our first stage hazard that we come across.
Yeah, so basically hazards can either, there's the two types. Ones that can just push you away, like the scissors, you can't actually die unless they knock you off the stage. And there's ones later, there's going to be lava and stuff like that, where if you touch it, you die. So you're just going to have to manage the risk between the two. Those are definitely more threatening later on.
Managed to back up getting the jump the second time there. Sometimes it's hard to judge a jump because you have to time it quite well after the timer ticks down, and sometimes if you just preempt it a little bit or go too late and the jump comes out differently than you're expecting to, like that's what happened to me there. I just tried to jump a little bit early, so it kind of stunted my jump height. But the second time I did it fine.
Alright, and this level is going to be the first example of a death warp. So basically, you can press the A button to reset back to the start of the level or a checkpoint like that. And basically, whenever you die or reset back to the start of a level, it saves all of your crystal progress. So you can basically break the routing of any level you wish if you just get a couple crystals, reset, and then go a different way. Generally the way to think of it is it's a bigger level with a small number of crystals. That's a lot of level that doesn't have crystals, meaning a lot of level you don't need to go to. So levels like that have the largest number of skips. So you'll see even these levels, like you kind of broke the routing of that last level completely, but later on you're going to see it even more so. And this is the final level of the first world. So basically this game is broken into 7 worlds. First 4 worlds have 10 levels each, then 5 levels, then 5 levels, and then 15 levels. So this is coming up on the end of Park, and we're going to be entering the next world shortly. Usually, the first couple worlds are pretty short, but obviously it's going to get much longer as the levels get more difficult. All right, and I guess another thing to mention is you notice that we are, this marble is not actually the first marble that you unlock, because we are running on New Game Plus, because the category is called All Normal Levels New Game Plus. And there's a couple reasons for this. So first of all, we want to start the run with all levels unlocked, because there's a certain set of levels called the secrets, where in a normal fresh file, you need to get what are called green crystals to unlock the secrets, and those are kind of scattered throughout all the normal levels. But having to get those and then unlock the levels and everything is less of an any % feels, so we kind of just start from a new file, so we don't have New Game Plus file, so you don't have to worry about getting the green crystals. Also, we are starting with this marble, which is called the Flash Ball, and you unlock this near the end of the game in a normal playthrough. And the reason we use this for speedruns is a couple reasons. So one, it's just the biggest reason is it's the only marble in the game where you can edit its stats, and that's perfect for speedrunning. So you would maximize different stats to maximize the amount of speed that you have with the ball, and there's a bounce stat that you can minimize. So basically, all the jumps that he's doing become infinitely easier because you're not getting some weird bounces off of different surfaces or getting too much height, just bouncing straight off the stage. So it just adds to the amount of control you have with the ball. And that strat he just did right there takes advantage of the fact that you saw before in the run where he was spinning his the Wiimote around at the start of the level and he wasn't going anywhere. That's because you're stuck in place for the first 3 seconds of the level, and then you're released and you can move. So he uses that 3 seconds in the last level. He held the Wiimote almost upside down, and the instant he started moving, he kind of slowly corrected it back to normal. So he got the height and landed on the platform. So you can use, it's kind of the similar thing as like at the beginning of the level, you can use that to buffer jumps. You can also use it to set up angles like that. All right, and this is kind of all these short levels just going through. And I guess one thing, did you want to say anything or no?
I'm good right now. I don't have anything particular to mention. You're doing great with the commentary. So I'll chime in if I have anything to add, but right now it's all good.
Got it. So the last level and this level are examples of, so to get into another thing, let's go back to Monkey Ball, right? So, because everyone knows Monkey Ball. So Monkey Ball, you move, it's a 3D marble game, right? But the camera moves with you. In this game, it does not. It is in a fixed angle looking forwards. So the last couple levels that you saw are mostly backwards movement. And the skip that he just did at the end of the last level is very difficult. I mean, it may look difficult.
I made it really difficult for myself because I almost bonked and fell off the stage, but I saved it. So
yeah, but the point is he can't see where he's going at all because the camera doesn't follow you. So for stuff like that, you need to know exactly where you're going. And not only where you're going, but how to control the ball while going backwards. So any backwards movement in this game is just way more annoying than every other movement.
Yeah, I'd say another part to that is you have to have very good spatial awareness as well. Like, say you make a mistake and you have to backtrack on a level, where you have to have like a good idea of where things off screen are and piece it together in your mind before you get there in order to do it, efficiently and not get lost. So.
Also, and this is now the third world of the game. So this is Daytown. So it's just kind of a different aesthetic for every world, different music. It's just a nice change of pace. To note on just having awareness of like the layout of the levels in this game. This game is so difficult that even at top level, you're gonna make a ton of mistakes. So the key to one of the keys to getting really good at this game, to the level we're at, is knowing backups. And just like, let's say that like you're like this level, let's say you just die like on the 4th crystal, like after getting 4 crystals, because all of your crystal progress is saved throughout the level, you could just jump right back to where you were. Assuming you know where you want to go and you have the right angle for the jump and everything. So if you're able to recognize, hey, I can jump right back here and finish the level instead of going through all of it normally again, that's a lot of time save instead of, so just having that awareness of knowing where you what the level's like and where you need to go based on when you die is a huge deal. So it's just kind of a really cool learning curve. It just makes the run really dynamic overall.
Glad that level went well. It's really scary if you die at the end there, because you have to basically backtrack through it normally, because there's so many parts of the stage that are in your way that it's extremely difficult to actually get to the end in one go.
Yeah, and these levels are kind of the most, like, some of the worst levels to die on in the game, some of them, because these are the last few levels before the checkpoint is introduced. So they're some of the most, some of the longest levels before the game kind of throws you a bone for a lot of levels.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's like this is another example, like knowing backups in this level like is really important, because if you die, like you need to know exactly what rung you have to jump down to get the crystal, like reach the last crystal that you just got and then keep going, stuff like that. All right, and here, this is the first level that they're going to be introducing checkpoints. So how checkpoints work in this game is each checkpoint, you unlock it after getting a certain number of crystals. It does not matter which crystals you get, as long as you get the right number. So he activated it right there. So this level only has 1. There's some longer levels that they're gonna have multiple. Now, what's interesting about checkpoints is, so when you, obviously, because it's a checkpoint, when you die, you go back to the checkpoint. But remember how I said before, death warps, you can use that to break routings of the routing of a level. Also, he just did the trick where he held upside down with the Wiimote again. I always love seeing that. But yeah, so for checkpoints, if you get a checkpoint, you can reset back to it, and you can do the same thing where you can just break the routing of a level if you only need to get a couple level crystals in one direction and then go a different direction. So just getting checkpoints at the right times and then resetting back to them to break the routing of the levels is another way this game was optimized as well. So it's just a really cool thing to think about.
Yeah, it's definitely very convenient that you keep all the crystals no matter what, no matter where you die in a level, no matter when you take a checkpoint, you always get to keep them all. And it also makes the game a lot more customizable, I'd say, in terms of routing, because some players are going to go a different way. Some you can kind of customize if you're going to do hard strats, safer strats, and the fact that it just keeps your progress and also lets you restart a level straight away. If you make a mistake, it means you can kind of vary up what you're going to do.
Yeah, it's only 1 second, like from pressing A to being able to move again. It's only 1 second delay, so it's really not much time in terms of dying. And going back to what Callum said about customizability, in terms of even learning this game, it's just not even the strats, but the ball itself. If you want to, like, let's say, learn the game, you can just slow the ball down because this ball has editable stats to learn how to play the game, learn the levels, and then as you get better, you speed the ball up. Yeah, that's what Callum did to learn the game. So it's super useful. And this is the 4th world, Toyland. So it's like a land full of toys.
You gotta love some of the theming in this game.
Yeah, no, one of my favorite things about this game is how creative they were with just like the music and the level design and just like the background and just like all the the tiles and how it's textured just to fit in with the environment. It's all so awesome.
Yeah, the level of polish in this game is incredible, especially seeing as this was a launch title for Nintendo, where you'd think this is a game where they kind of had years to work on it and perfect the controls and everything, but no, this is like one of the first games that came out for Nintendo Wii.
Yeah, and it's crazy because no one knows about this game, but it was a launch game, and it's one of the craziest speed games of all time, in my humble opinion.
I would have to agree. I mean, I'm obviously going to say that, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, so this is coming up, this next level. I believe this is is this guy? No, okay, never mind.
This is
I got my order mixed up. Yeah. Okay. Also, watch out. The magnifying glass is right there. that is a hazard that will kill you instantly. And I want to also talk about, so normally in a speedrun, if you fall off, the faster you react to falling off and pressing A, the faster you can get back to doing the run. But let's say that you get killed by a hazard, right? You can't press A. And like during that entire animation of you dying from the hazard and respawning, it's like a 2 or 3 second animation. So like in a real attempts, that's a pretty decent time loss. And I guess I'll also talk about this. It's a good segue into other way to die. So in terms of just falling off the stage. So you won't see us really fall off the stage and die because we can just reset back to the start of the level. But there are some parts of the run where that might happen. And the reason that might happen is because of how dying works in this game. So I'm gonna go one more time. We're going back to the monkey ball comparison. So in monkey ball, if you fall off the stage, you die because you hit a death plane. So like an invisible death plane, in the instant you touch it, you die. In this game, there are no death planes. How you die is if you are in the air for 1.5 consecutive seconds without touching any surfaces. So that if you just like do a huge jump and then just don't land, you'll just die even if you're within the normal playing area. So with some skips, so this is probably the most broken level in the game in terms of how long it is casually versus how fast you can beat it in a speed run. Casually probably takes like 30, 40 seconds, but you can beat it in less.
There's such a big skip here. That really helps cut down. And then this end section normally would be quite a long. You go through all those holes you see on that corner there. You just skip straight to the ending.
Yeah, because there's only 5 crystals on this entire huge level, so you just skip everything. But yeah, so back to the dying in midair. So there are some skips in this game where you have to do pretty big jumps, and if you're in the air for 1.5 seconds, then too bad, you're dead. You go back to the last checkpoint or whatever. There is an exception to this, and it will come into play in at least one level later. So if you reset back to the start of the game, start of the level, or back to a checkpoint, so you have like the 1 second animation of it, like getting ready to put you back in that level, and then the instant it puts you back into the level, starting then for 1 full second, it doesn't count towards the 1.5 second timer of you dying. So if you buffer a jump right out of the gate, you actually have 2.5 seconds of invincibility. So that actually comes into play in at least one level and in a decent amount of backups. It actually makes some backups easier because if you die, you reset and you jump back to where you were, you have an extra second of invincibility to work with. So it's pretty nice. And now we are getting into the 5th world of the game, which is Night Town. 5 levels in this world. And this is after, I'd say around level 42 is where the run really starts to pick up. Levels 40, basically the next 10 levels are overall the hardest group of levels in the game.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. Hopefully these will go pretty smoothly. But yeah, and I guess another thing to note is if you see at the top left of the screen, there's a little time underneath the normal timer of the level. That's Callum's ILPB. Because we run on New Game Plus, he can save all of his IL individual level records on the same file. So if you want to get kind of a sense of how good the run was compared to what the best run of the level in like an individual level setting is, just you can kind of compare the 2 times. There are some levels where it's going to be relatively close, but there's other levels where you might see him play like almost perfectly and there'll be like more than a 10-second gap. And that's because there are some levels in this game where the individual level routes have so many ridiculous strats that it's just not even close to worth going for them in an actual run. So just to give you a kind of a sense of that. Oh, that was super clean.
21.1. That's such a fast time.
I'm just talking over that because by the way, shortest level in the game, blink and you'll miss it. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, blink again.
2 more blinks. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, only level in the game with no crystals. But yeah, I'm kind of talking over this stuff because I'm so used to it, but obviously it's super, super impressive. It's crazy stuff. So as I was saying before, so in terms of optimization, the current record for this game is a mid-26 by me, but Callum's PB is like 3 seconds.
Yeah, but 3 seconds separated, that's it. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how we're the only 2 main runners of this game, the only 2 that have really kind of pushed it to that level, and we're just so close, so equal.
Yes.
It's really cool.
By the way, this is Space, the hardest world in the run, next 5 levels. But yeah, so record is a mid-26. I did this calculation. If you put all of the individual level records together in one segmented run, that time is a high 21-minute run. So there are, in theory, 4.5 minutes to save in this run, and that's not even including, like, you have to consider 10 minutes of this run is loading and menuing. So, like, it's pretty insane how much more optimization there can be with this game, and even though the run is already, like the top times are already super strong. Like, see, like, that was a pretty clean run, like 32 seconds, but the IL is 17 seconds, because you just destroy this level
Yeah,
in
it
an
is
individual
so
level
crazy.
setting.
You just fly across the entire stage, just grabbing everything with no slowdown, skipping all these different sections. That's one of the biggest differences actually between like the strat and default level and what the IL does.
And if you guys might be wondering, where can I watch these individual level records? Well, good question. Good thing you ask. If you go to just look up on Google or something, Kororinpa Cyberscore. Cyberscore is a website where all the individual level records are hosted, and you can find all of them. I think Callum has like 2/3 of the records, and I have like 1/3. And we all, for every level, we have YouTube links, so you can find and watch all of the insane individual level strats that we're talking about. Because if this stuff looks crazy, just trust me, just watch the individual levels. Like, this game can get even more absurd.
Yeah, I actually have a playlist as well with all of my ILs in a row, so it's like you're watching a run basically with them all kind of segmented together. So it gives you a really good feel for like what all the stages look like when they're done fully optimized, fully insane IL strategies.
All right, let's see. This is probably one of the harder levels in space. Let's see.
I missed the checkpoint, but I lived. If I died there, that would have been like a 20-second time loss.
You missed the checkpoint and you're like, I don't need it.
Yeah, I was
You're that confident.
I wasn't gonna go back for that. I was like 3 seconds lost, man. This is
Yeah,
good.
like in my record, I lost 15 seconds on that level. That level was a real pain. And this level is pretty annoying too. This probably has like the part in the run where if you die on one certain section of this level, it's like the worst death you can possibly have. You lose like 20 seconds or more.
So that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going for the skip, so
No.
you should be fine. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and I haven't. Hold on. Let's see.
A little bit risky.
Cutting it a little bit close there. All right.
It's fine. This is
All
the part
right.
where we gotta just.
Now let's get the skip. All right. Come on.
Should be good.
Nice, nice.
Take the ending extra slow so we don't fall off. And we've
Easy
actually
peasy.
clutched the
All
hard bit.
right. That's space D done. And now we are actually switching off of Flashball. Everyone, get ready to say hello to our friend Mr. Panda. And it is called the Super Easy Ball in the game. This is, by the way, this is Space E. Usually the hardest level in the run. It looks kind of absurd, but with the Panda Ball, it makes it a lot easier. So the reason we use the Panda Ball, a couple of reasons. One, it has super good traction, meaning anywhere that you land after a jump, you kind of just stick instantly. You don't bounce, like you don't carry any momentum. So it just makes landings off of jumps really easy. Also, it's so slow that it's so easy to control in the air. So it just has super good air control. So even if you mess up the angle on a jump, you can kind of correct the angle and then still land where you want to. And seeing as there's a ton of really difficult jumps in this level, it is super worth it.
Yeah, the fact that its airspeed is actually still fairly fast makes it so that the time you get in the end isn't really much slower than the Flashball either, because most of the time you're spent airborne, you're not slowly crawling on the ground with the Panda Ball.
Yes.
And that was pretty
nice.
solid. I'm happy with it.
You got all the jumps first time, and I think those last 2 jumps are actually impossible if you don't reset to the checkpoint. Remember the thing I said before. If you reset back to a checkpoint, the first second that you're moving, you don't. It doesn't count towards the 1.5 second timer to your death. So it gives you more airtime to get those crystals. All right, so that was space. That was a pretty clean space, and we're heading into the final world. This is the secrets. So I mentioned these before. 15 levels. This is kind of a break from space. These aren't the most difficult levels in the game. These are more so like short, gimmicky levels. It's kind of the developer's playground. It's like this level, they were like, hey, let's just take a flat level and put 70 crystals on it, because why not?
Gotta respect it.
Yeah, the levels are pretty fun overall, and just.
Yeah, these are some of my favorite stages to IL and play over and over, because they're just unique.
For sure. Like if these levels were like if space was the last world and this wasn't, like that would be so stressful. Like it's good. I'm glad these levels are easy when you have nerves. Also, we're just going skiing. Going on a vacation for a level.
Don't mind me. All right, holiday over.
All right, yeah. The shortest holiday in the history of the world. All right. All right, and now we're at a dog show. So you gotta go on top of the platform, go through the rings, and you're gonna have to do a little slalom at the end. So yeah, you can't really lose that much time on most of the secrets. It's mostly just movement optimization and just getting clean lines throughout the level.
I'd say there's definitely some hard stages coming up in the second half of Secrets. Like, this is where it starts to get a bit more difficult for sure, honestly.
Yeah. I want to think that a developer, like, 3D rendered their own hand for this level.
I would be worried if that was so.
Yeah.
We'll get that checked out.
Yeah, that's actually, again, 9-second level time, 6-second IL. That's one of the craziest ILs in the game. Yeah, and this one's 4 seconds. They're all super short.
Yes, I got them all. That's pretty hard.
Nice. That was pretty clean. All right. And go back to the ice physics. I guess we didn't really mention different surfaces. I guess it's been pretty evident. There's ice, and then there's sludge or honey. It has multiple textures throughout the game. The ones that make you slower versus this, which makes you faster. Excuse me. And yeah, so it's a lot harder to control, especially when you have maximum stat flashball on ice. It's, you have to be really careful about your movement.
Fun,
yeah, it's super fun to move around. All right, what's up next? Oh, this one.
I like to do this stage backwards.
Yeah, doing the stage backwards is actually faster, and it's debatably
easier. I would say it's definitely a lot better on your body, because going up this slope here, you have to just wiggle your arms around like absolutely crazy. So.
If you watch, I don't know if I did it in my PB, but if you watch like one of my old PBs and I do it the normal way, I have to you have to turn the Wiimote upside down, and then while your hand is upside down, like wiggle your wrist back and forth to go up. I'm so glad.
I did the same in my PB as well.
Yeah.
I love that I always do an accidental pause there.
Yeah,
you can explain how that happens. Sometimes.
So you use the B button to pause in this game, and there's some jumps, like if you're like moving your wrist up really quick to get a jump, sometimes your finger just clips the B button and you get an accidental pause. So it's just kind of the way it's just kind of the way the controls work. This is also one of the most difficult secrets. You saw him mess up a couple jumps just because like if you die on this level, it's kind of hard to get a precise jump as a backup to wherever you want to go. But
yeah, definitely. I'm glad I managed to back it up okay. I didn't lose that much time overall.
Yeah, the second half of that level was super clean, so you're good. All right, 6 levels left. And then this level's on... Go ahead.
The main thing is getting backups. Like, I know I'm going to mess up some things. The main thing is just clutching it out and figuring out how to back it up concisely and not mess up too many more times after that point.
Yeah. And also another thing to mention about some of these later secret levels, you saw like in the giant ice level and now this level, it's not linear at all. Like, there's a ton of different routes that you could take to get all these crystals. So this is kind of like a router's playground.
Yeah, this level's a good example of that. There's like at least 3 different ways you could choose to do that.
Yeah, like there's like just no clear-cut path whatsoever. Also, this one is depth perception the level.
This
you
level
gotta just
is as soon as you make one mistake, you can lose so much time, especially if you miss one of these crystals over the gaps, because you have to like backtrack over twice.
You just have to line your ball up with the middle of the gap, and if you miss the crystal, you gotta go back. Have fun. Yeah, like that. See, like it's so difficult to tell sometimes.
Yeah. Just showing you an example, you know.
Yeah, that's honestly one of my least favorite levels in the game. But
yeah, it's so easy to lose time though.
And there's a funny thing to mention is that this game, also Christmas tree, this game has mirror versions of all the levels, which have their own leaderboards and stuff. Like in-game leaderboards and stuff for like the local game. So it's just flipping at 180 degrees. That last level we played is identical in the normal version and the mirror version, just because it's completely symmetric. Also, say hi to the snowman. Bye,
That's
snowman.
why this category's naming convention is normal, like all normal levels New Game Plus instead of all levels New Game Plus, because all the mirror stages are the exact same, just in reverse, and it's
it would be pretty boring to play.
Yeah,
it'd be pretty boring to play all the normal levels and then the mirror levels. So, also,
I've literally only ever played like 3 of them. Ever.
Yeah, it's. Also, this is Dog Show Part 2. We're at Nationals now. All right.
Nice.
Nice. All right, 2 levels left. These last 2 levels are like just some of the biggest secrets and some of the craziest routing.
definitely, like, they're pretty hard levels to end on. It's definitely not like an anticlimactic ending, I would say, at all. It's definitely hard stuff.
Yeah, and you're gonna see death warps in this level. I think. Well, I think only that one. But yeah,
I just
it's
do the one here, yeah. You can do two. There's different routes again to the level.
Yeah. All right, just climb up the wall. No big deal. Fall back down. Definitely the intended route. Don't worry, guys. All right, and then fall down. All right, and just a warning, time will be at the end of the next level. This is coming up as the last level.
Yep, I'll call
Secret
time
15.
as I go into the goal.
Yes. All right. So yeah, this one, this level, okay, normally it's not that bad, but with nerves, it's annoying. I've literally lost the record before because I missed entering the goal. I just like went right by it.
I've done that too, for sure.
Yeah. Because your hands are shaking. This game is so hard to play with nerves.
You're thinking about splitting and everything as well.
Yeah. All right, 3. Oh, you can count down.
Ready on time, and almost failed. I did mess it up.
Oh
my goodness me! Wow.
Never mind, not time yet.
All right, here we go. Let's test our backup skills. Ready?
You just wanted to give us an example.
Time.
Time.
That was just the quick example, but yeah.
All right.
So that would have been like 12 seconds faster if we didn't do that, but it's all good.
All right, want to wrap it up now?
Yep. So, thanks everyone for watching. It was a pleasure to do this run. I live in the UK, so I've never had a chance to do a GDQ before, as they are typically in America. So, you know, I'm really happy to be able to participate. And if you want to see any more gameplay like this, either follow me on Twitter or Twitch. I have the same username everywhere. And I just want to pass it over to Yoda now, so he can sign us off.
Yeah. So I just want to make a quick shout out. There's less than 10 runners for this game. No one runs this game. If you're interested at all in running this game, go to speedrun.com, the Kororinpa Marble Mania. You can find it on there. There's a Discord link where you have the Discord. On my YouTube channel, I have a full tutorial series for every world in this game. If you want to reach out to me in that Discord, or I'm on Twitter as well, at Yoda_Cage, to ask me about it, we can help you get started running this game. There's resources for it. This game is amazing. It needs more runners. I'm counting on you
Please
guys.
play this game.
But yeah, we hope you enjoyed the run. So yeah, that's it for us.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
All right, we are back. Thank you so much for that run of Kororinpa Marble Mania. callumbal, that screen was just going squirrely. It was all over the place. Before we continue with some donations, let me just shout out one of our sponsors here, Super Meat Boy Forever. Did you know that Super Meat Boy Forever is finally out? Finally, it finally came out. Yes, the video game is out. You can play it with your thumb hands, or perhaps your nose or feet, whatever you want to play it with. According to the devs, they literally created 5,000 levels for the game, and on second thought, they appear to believe it is too many levels, and they probably just should have done, more like 2,500. But that's fine. You can go to supermeatboy.com and go check out that. That is a good game. So we have more donations. I want to once again shout out the Dullahan Super Boss Fight incentive for Golden Sun. Dullahan is an incredibly difficult boss fight. It is optional though, but we can watch Plexa take down the Dullahan during the run. So please, please, please get those donations in. We need 50,000 total. We have only a little over 4,000, so let's get those donations in. And speaking of donations, let's read some donations now. I can find my donations. Here we go. So, Half Key sends $50 and says, this Kororinpa run is wild. Let's get that Dullahan Super Boss incentive met. Agreed. Saria100 says, hey all, last place runner here. I'm so happy our game got into a GDQ. I never could have imagined this game got into a Games Done Quick event. Shoutouts to Callum, Yoda, and all the rest of the Kororinpa community. Blue Green Mikey says, Callumbal's run is marvelous. Kororinpa is a true hidden sphere. Dante Sapien donates $5 and says, donating during Kororinpa because seeing it at SGDQ confirms it's not just a fever dream I had 12 years ago. I remember feeling so smart figuring out I could finish levels by flipping the Wii remote wildly. So cool to see it used with actual finesse. And shout out to the marble with the screaming man inside. I'm sorry, what? Shout out to the okay, no, okay. I know I was talking about donating about magically detachable heads and thing. Please donate. Put your donation towards the Dullahan fight for Golden Sun, and no matter what your donation comment is about, please end it with shout out to the marble with the screaming man inside. Please do this. Please do it during other games too, like later in the marathon. Just like I love Crash Bandicoot. It's one of my favorite games ever. Shout out to the marble with the screaming man inside. Let's confuse the other hosts, please. I want this to go on until the end of the marathon. You know, Kingdom Hearts 2 was one of my favorite games growing up. Oh, as a kid, I just loved all the music and the visuals, and I did everything in the game. It was so good. Just the Disney and Squaresoft, you know, crossover. It's so great. Shout out to the marble with the screaming man inside. Let's do it. I want this. Give it to me. The Hell Fridge, which is a very good name, sends $20.21. You see, it's 2021, you see. Broke, Corona, Woke, Kororinpa. Also getting hyped for Mischief Makers. Can I get a shake in the chat? Stay kind and hydrated. You all rock. Thank you so much. Let's get a little shake in the chat there. That's if you haven't played Mischief Makers, trust me, you will see what that is about. P.S. Shout out to the marble with the screaming man inside. Sansero sends $25 and says, hi, SGDQ. Hi. Hello. Lotariat World sends $15 and says, I had the sequel, Marble Saga, Kororinpa, as a kid, and I'm actually kind of excited to see a speedrun of Kororinpa Marble Mania. Didn't know people ran it or were even aware of these games. Hope y'all are having fun so far. Putting my donation towards the Hitman 3 bonus game. Smile. Smiley face. Good. Cello sends $10 and says, Golden Sun is my favorite JRPG of all time, so I have to make sure to extend the run as much as possible. Thanks to everyone who makes this event possible. Greetings from Germany. Heck yeah. Thash sends $25 and says, first time to donate. Good luck on your run, Plexa. Golden Sun is my favorite game from my childhood. That's right, let's get that Dullahan fight in. Dullahan fight. Ooh. Speaking of getting the Dullahan fight in, I mean, it's not, we haven't met it yet, but speaking of putting in the money towards it, Ty sends $2,000. Holy moly, says, let's get some hype for that Dullahan fight. Can we get a train going? Let's go! That's right, let's get the Dullahan train going. You know who's the engineer on that train, by the way? It's the marble with the screaming man inside. I heard that somewhere. I heard the screaming man trapped in that marble really loves the Dullahan fight in Golden Sun. I heard that. You don't want to let the screaming marble man down, do you? We've been through